Good morning. Today is Women's Day and I'm so honored to be here with some of our amazing women at Neuroscience, Pauline, Ilaria, Thais, Omara and Anna. And I really wanted to have this informal conversation on Women's Day about what does it mean to be a woman in tech. So we are going to ask a few questions and have a conversation. We can start with Pauline. So Pauline, give us your experience. What does it mean to be a woman in tech?
For me, I maybe don't have the most typical experience because I've been very fortunate and I didn't feel like I was treated differently as a woman in tech than any other man that was next to me in my studies or in my jobs. I've always been very supported by both my families, my teachers and in my jobs as well.
So does experience relate to you? For example, Omara, I mean, what is your experience?
Well, I mean, I can say the same. I'm really proud that I have not felt any discrimination because of my gender, but it's true that it has been an evolution and it's felt like super exciting to see how, again, like when I went to college, it was like you were the only woman, like in many scenarios, like when you were in meetings, when you were in companies. And nowadays it's not like that. I mean, coming to Neuroelectrics and seeing so many women, like at all levels in the organization, it's been really empowering.
So from HR, Anna, do you think we are attracting more and more women? I mean, what do you see?
Yes, actually, I am quite proud these recent years because I see like the impact of women in tech is more visible now than some years before. So this is something that I've noticed in the recruitment.
And as an engineer, Ilaria, I mean, when you went to school and now at Neuroelectrics, I mean, do you think it's improving? Is it where you wish it would be? I mean, what is the experience?
So basically, I think with this new generation is getting better. When I studied mechanical engineering, women were the 4% of my class. So there were 300 students and just the 4% were women. I didn't feel any discrimination as Pauline was mentioning, but actually this is not. It was like crazy, that like mechanical engineering is meant to be just for men. What is that? Now I think things are changing. There are many applications that do not relate necessarily with engines, and also women can like cars and engines as well as much as men. One thing that I noticed as something that I've experienced, so I didn't feel any discrimination, is like imposter syndrome. I think that affects mostly women than men, and that's something that we need to improve. I think because we don't feel that we deserve what we get most of the time.
Yeah, I think these are two great topics to continue the conversation. One, and I will hand to Thais, is Thais in the big pharma and clinical industry where you were before. I mean, okay, maybe in academia and in engineering it's okay, but when you go to the positions of power, do you think that then women are left behind? I mean, what did you experience in the clinical side?
Yeah, so I have been working in clinical research for almost 30 years, so a long time ago, and I can say you that some years ago it was very difficult to have a chief of department and to be respected by everyone. So I think you have to show your leadership and your mentoring if it's needed, but yes, it's possible. It was quite different before than current, right? So of course you have to do your best, to do all your efforts to make yourself noted that you can do it, and independently you are a woman or whatever, right? So but the time changes, have been changing, and I don't think right now we have this kind of discrimination. And I think if you are good, you are good, independent what you're man or woman, right? And I think what was difficult to me at the beginning, because I have children and they are small children at that time, and I feel like the balance between professional and personal life was quite difficult to me to manage this. But they grew, so they are not they are adults right now, independent, so that's fine. We survive it, everyone. So you can do it. Well, everybody can adapt to it, right? And now I have my parents that they are old, and it's different right now. I have to balance again my work life and balance this. But I think it's possible, and we are here to prove that it's possible.
So, I mean, some of the topics we raise is whether, I mean, things are improving, but there is still a lot of, first, the imposter syndrome. I mean, do we really believe as women that, you know, we are as good as we are? And the other is all this conciliation. So, what would the table recommend, like, to the girls and the, you know, young people getting into STEM or into the tech world? I mean, is it really go over the imposter syndrome? If you can follow on that point, Ilaria, is really believing that they can do it and expressing themselves like that, or is the society?
Both, I think, and it's not independent from the society, because at the end we develop this imposter syndrome and this feeling because of the society, because the society makes us feel that we don't have the same skills or the same possibility as much as the men for years, for centuries.
Exactly. I think that it's something that we still need more time, and with new generation it's something that you can see that we are improving and will be like this for the coming years.
But I hope we can teach women that they also are allowed to take the same space as men do and to aim for the same goals as well, because I feel like men in society are taught more to aim higher, whilst women oftentimes don't dare to put themselves in that situation and go for things that they're not completely sure they will
But
achieve.
you can see this, no, in young generations that women are.
Are you
super
sure?
big.
I mean,
I strongly believe
I
in this
think
generation.
that more than us, yes. That
They're more
we
aware.
are, and you can see this in universities. So now, there
think
is
the
more
women is a-
presence. There is more women presence, and neuroelectrics is an example. No, one of the proud things for us is that you see the top management, and more of the 50% is a women. So
70%, right?
exactly.
so
So
bad,
in top, yes. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it would be really interesting for women to just again believe in themselves. I think one of the advices that I read at some point in my career was, I think it was from the Facebook CEO, like don't block yourself. You know, like we believe constantly
Exactly. We are
work-life
having more
balance. I'm gonna
examples.
have to have children at some point, but no, like block your career by yourself. Sometimes we just do it to ourselves. It's like keep going. Don't put barriers where there are not, and just believe in yourself and keep going. Because if there is going to be a challenge, let them give it to you, not give it to yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
Like the motto of JPL is their mighty teams. And I think that
I think this was a great advice, and I would love to summarize with one sentence that I tell a lot to women, but in general, it's like, don't ask for permission to succeed. I mean, in any case, you may ask for forgiveness, but just don't ask for permission, because you don't need permission to succeed. I mean, so I think that that's our Women's Day advice. Go for it, women. We are with you.